Alright, so for this video you'll be needing some nice pictures, which you want to be using as hero minis. You'll be needing a glue gun, some transparent plastic, transparent tape, a scissor, some weight you can put into the bottom of the miniatures, you can see here, and then something you can lean the miniatures onto while they're cooling off. So if you have this, then you can make an adventuring party. Here you can see some old miniatures I made when I first began game mastering some years back. I needed a lot of miniatures for cheap, so I just printed out a lot of nice pictures and then made some miniatures out of them. And you can see they measure up quite nicely to an official miniature. I put a small coin in the bottom of the miniatures, which makes them very stable when you put them on a table so they don't tip over. But let's see some artwork here, just to get an idea of what we're working with. So that's obviously a bear. That's some kind of elven wizard druid thing. That's a wizard. That's probably also a wizard. That's some elemental thing. Hellhound. That's a devil or an orc or a demon. Vampire, maybe a rogue. Shade. Another shade. A lich, shade, or warlock, and then back to the grizzly bear. These were just some examples of how nice artwork is even on cheap magic cards. So these are the ones I chose. We got a rogue at first. Then there's a fighter or barbarian. That's probably a warlock. It could also be a rogue, but I'll say it's a warlock. That's obviously a druid. And then we have either a cleric or some kind of sorcerer. So these are a nice mix for an adventuring party. So here again, you can see I just measured it, and you can see the illustration of the card fits nicely to the size of a miniature. And for those of you disliking me cutting up these cards, don't worry, they were absolutely worthless. I had no use for them at all, so this was probably the best use they would ever see. So no worries there. Here I'm cutting out some of the plastic from the container where I bought the hot glue in. And then when you have one sharp corner, you only need to cut twice when you put on the illustrations from the cards. It's really easy. You can also use bent plastic from a bottle, which I'll be showing now. It is almost the same as having a perfectly flat plastic because you cut out such a small piece of it. I just showed it that it can be done. I went back to the flat plastic because I had access to it, and it's nice that the miniatures here for this party are uniform. So now they're all cut out and prepared. So I'm preparing 5 pieces of tape. So I can tape in the illustration and the plastic before mounting them with hot glue. So here I'm making sure the plastic surface is down and easy to pick up. Then I take a piece of tape and put it with the sticky side up. It can be a little bit annoying trying to put up, but it'll do. Then you place the illustration and the plastic simultaneously onto the sticky part of the tape. I should have placed it further down because now I have to cut twice, making the process a little bit more complicated. But you want to fasten the tape around 2/3 up on the back side of the illustration, leaving some of the card available for the top of the tape when it's folded down, so both ends of the tape is secure right on the illustration. Otherwise, it might start to slip a little. In order to avoid any air pockets, then press from the middle and outwards. Just to try and smooth out any excess air which might have been caught there. And there you can see I folded it back around midway at the cart and then securing it. And now I'm just trying to press out any small air bubbles which might have been left there. And now I just have to remove the excess tape on the sides, and then the first miniature is ready to be mounted. So as you can see, this is really easy and fast. You can probably do that while watching a series or listening to some stories or whatever you feel like doing when crafting. So there you go, first one ready. Yeah, here we're just speeding up. So putting on some hot glue on a coin. You can also use, if you buy a bunch of washers, metal washers from a construction market, that is probably nice, easy and cheap. That will work as well. You just want some weight to the bottom, so so they don't tip over all the time. Also, when you place the illustration down in the hot glue, make it lean a little backwards and then have something it can rest onto. Otherwise, odds are it will fall over, and you'll have to use some more glue, maybe clean it up and go again. So just be mindful of that it's resting nice without falling to either side. And here, the rest of the party is about to be ready. You can see it didn't take long. I think I spent around 20 minutes, maybe a little less, from when I pressed record on the camera and up until now. So it really didn't take long. And here I'm just placing the miniatures and making sure they don't fall over. So an hour later, the glue is cooled off, and one of the miniatures had a little excess glue, so I just clipped that away. And there you go. That's a nice adventuring party, ready to be put on the table. And here you can see them in some terrain on my battle grid, and who knows what these guys are up to. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, found some inspiration of your own, and perhaps even learned a thing or two. Should you be interested in supporting the channel, aside from just throwing a like and subscribing, then I'm a published author. I write books, I paint illustrations, and I got a few other things in the works as well. You can see some of my work at tscout.com. There you can also find links to social medias, as well as places where you can buy books and artwork. Any support will be greatly appreciated, even if it's just a click or two to help fight the algorithm. So thanks for watching once again. Hope to see you again soon.